Welcome to episode 58 of A Message From. We're your hosts. I'm Alyson.
I'm Edward.
I got a lot of energy right now. I don't know if you can tell, but...
I will be your yang, as in I have no energy.
Yeah, we're on opposite spectrums right now. I just got back from the gym. I'm like, the only thing I've had today so far is a little bit of coffee. And I'm like, I'm buzzing. I'm like, all hyped up.
Oh boy. Do you not eat before you go to the gym?
If I work out in the morning, no, I absolutely do not eat before. If I work out like afternoon or evening, I'll make sure that I've eaten something, but like it needs to be at least an hour before I'm going to work out. I can't be bouncing around with food and sloshing in my tummy.
Yeah, no. Obviously, if you were going to work out in the afternoon or the evening, I would assume you would have eaten beforehand at some point.
Yeah.
Like breakfast. Yeah.
Breakfast and lunch, yeah.
I, on the opposite hand, have no energy. I've been up since 4:45 a.m. And I'm just tired. I came back home to Madrid from Barcelona.
Ooh, Barcelona.
Barcelona.
This is fascinating because you used to be a diehard Barcelona hater.
Yeah, up until probably this trip.
Not even when you and I were there for one day and I drowned in a pool of my own sweat.
The days of you drowning in a pool of your own sweat sort of blend together because it was like most days.
Yeah, true.
But that place we had lunch, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it had on the side like bar. It was like student bar on it.
Yeah, I was going to say it was like a college bar or something.
I think like I think it branded itself as a college bar, but it was just like cheaper.
Yeah.
I passed by it and thought to myself, we ate there.
We did eat there. It wasn't terrible. The eggplant was a little intense.
I don't remember.
I remember us being like, wow, there's still more eggplant. Like,
oh, there was like a lot of it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's good. That's not a bad thing to have happened.
True. Very true.
Could be the opposite, which is usually the worst. Yeah. But it was good. It was supposed to rain like half the time, so I packed pretty much like an outfit a day. Because I was like, I'm not going to be there for a long time, you know? But it didn't rain at all. Oh. And it was like pretty warm. So my outfit a days kind of ruined. Were ruined because I was just wearing the wrong stuff. But, you know, it did rain this morning.
It happens. Of course it rained this morning as you left.
Yeah. Well, I was walking to the train station. So it's just too early to risk it said I could take the metro, but I was like, I don't believe that. It was like 5-ish something in the morning. I was like, maybe, but like also it was Sunday morning, which means it was full of drunk people.
True, Sunday morning.
So I was like, I'll just walk. It was like a 30-minute walk. The exact walk you and I did. I did that twice over the past few days. And it rained. That was terrible. Very weird to take a wet umbrella on a high-speed train.
Yeah, where do you put it? Because if you put it overhead, it's going to drip on you. But then you put it by your feet. You just put it on your feet, yeah. It makes a puddle.
Yeah, you just have to do the latter, which is kind of bleak. But you have to go through security in Spanish train stations, right? You remember?
I remember, and I remember being very weirded out by it, and they wouldn't let me take my coffee. I'm like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You can scam my coffee. Like, I just bought it literally 5 feet across from you. Like, you watched me buy it right here. Like, there's nothing in my coffee. I forgot
about that.
But...
Yeah.
Yeah, so how do you get an umbrella through security?
I was wondering that. I was like, oh, maybe they'll have bags. You know, someplace have bags. You, like, put them in. They didn't. And some woman before me was like, do I have to put this through the conveyor belt? And the guy was like, no. Like, don't put your wet umbrella through the conveyor belt. So I had mine in my hand because I was going to put it on. He was like, oh, no, you're fine. And just like, I walked through and it was good. So really, it was just no big deal at all. But, you know, love to create an anxiety-inducing potential at any given time of the day.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. That's how the human brain works. So I've been preparing for this trip by practicing Catalan on Duolingo. Mm-hmm. And I made my goal of completing the entire first unit. There's only 3 units. And
okay. I'm thinking like the Italian one that I do has 5 units. It's so long.
Yeah, that one's really long. The Spanish one's like super, super long. Yeah. I was looking through it because I've been a member of Duolingo for a very, very long time. And I was just like curious how things have changed because I haven't used it in a while. And I know you use it every day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow, the Spanish one's really, really long. It's like an insane amount of units, like 10 or some shit like that.
They've changed a lot. And they used to, the earlier lessons you did used to kind of like expire. If you hadn't practiced them in a long time, it would kind of like knock you back to the beginning. Whereas it doesn't do that anymore.
It does do some sort of expiry thing though, right?
Mine doesn't. Like I haven't done, or maybe it only does it until you reach the last lesson. It's weird. So there's like there's like all those different lessons or whatever, or a unit, but you go through all the same lessons X number of times. And it gets like harder each time. So maybe, so for the Italian one, there's 5. You can go through each one 5 times. Maybe the earlier ones only expire until you hit 5. But I don't think so. Because they used to expire all the time. Like, I would have gone through like 10 lessons 3 times, right? So I'd be like on level 3 for all 10 of those lessons. And then if I didn't do it for a month, I'd go back in and they'd put me all back at like 1.
Interesting. Okay, I know what you're talking about. I remember this now.
Yeah.
So
don't do that anymore.
My goal was to get through Unit 1 of Catalan, but on the legendary level. So the purple one. Mm-hmm. And they do expire. But they they don't expire where you go backwards or like retrograde. They like quote unquote break, and then you have to repair them by doing 1 lesson. And then it's like back to being like purple legendary status.
Because mine only break once I've completed 5 and then do the lesson again. And then it's like, it's broken and then it's like, you're done.
No, yeah, like I'm done with them, but then sometimes they'll still break.
What's going on with Duolingo? It's got like different rules. I don't know.
It's confusing. But did it help me at all? No, not really. But that was to be expected.
I was gonna ask, like, what kind of wacky phrases did you learn from Duolingo? Because they just playing games sometimes.
Yeah, true. Well, you always, the first like 10 words you always learn are like man, woman, boy, girl, apple, sandwich.
I was gonna say, I have an apple. Like, there's always an apple.
Yeah. So it was a lot of that for a while. But they only teach it through Spanish as the first language. So I have to translate from Spanish to Catalan, which is pretty easy. But sometimes I would fuck up and the thing will literally be like, I think you put it in the wrong language. And it like would make me redo it because I didn't get it wrong. But it was like, you've confused yourself. And I'm like, yes, I have.
To be expected.
I have. But I did go through. And I was like, just playing around. And I decided to, how you could just sort of skip through the whole thing and like do the exams. Mm-hmm. So I did the very last exam for Italian, French, and Spanish. And I have officially completed the courses on level 1.
I saw that and I was like, how was he? Because we're friends on there and it keeps shoving these notifications down my throat every time you do something. Probably. It's like, congratulate Edward. He's done this. And I'm like, no. Literally every time I open it, I'm like, how do I stop this? But I'm like, I got one saying, like, you completed Italian or French. I was like, there's no way. He just got back on Duolingo not that long ago. There's no way he finished this. So now we know you're cheating.
Kind of. But also, like, I definitely was at least halfway through the Spanish course, like, back in the day. And now, like, I was maybe a third, if not like a fourth of it through. So things have changed. But I would say if anyone is looking to go to Barcelona, you probably don't need to do the Catalan Duolingo course, especially if you don't speak Spanish. So
No, that would be impossible. I mean, I will say we were only there for like half a day, but I survived.
Yes. I definitely heard a lot more Catalan this time, but I think it was because I had like tuned or trained my ears to like seek it out.
Yeah, you were
like obviously you see it everywhere and like written, but I heard it a lot more, which is kind of cool. So I've decided that I'm going to finish the full course because it's only 3 units.
Oh, good.
And we'll see where my Catalan journey goes from there. It's very fun to pronounce. It's the same vibe as Italian, where it's just like fun to say the words.
That's good. Gosh, my week was a bit less exciting than that. I will say. Yesterday was gorgeous. It was a really nice day. So I went for a walk, as one does when it's a nice day.
Okay.
I'm walking around and I'm like, this guy was passing me. Like, I went into the street because it was like a busier sidewalk. I had passed like 2 groups of people walking already. Couples. It was 2 people walking on the sidewalk, but I'm like, give you your space, I'll walk in the street. So anyway, this guy's walking and he starts to like, he's on the sidewalk, I'm in the street. He starts to like veer towards me and he's looking at something. And then he like goes back up to the sidewalk. And I'm like, what is this weird business?
Okay.
Some landscaper around here is going around launching free samples at people's houses. There's like the neighborhood that I was walking through. It would be like every other driveway I passed, there'd be like this clear plastic bag tied. And inside of it was like a postcard for a landscaper with like their information on it. And then a rock. And like a sample. Like, if you hire us, we could put this rock in your yard for your landscaping. I was like, this is so bizarre.
A stone gift.
Yeah. They probably just were like cruising by in their truck, like launching the rock bags.
Wait. So what does this have to do with the man on the walk?
Well, he spotted one of those and he must have been like curious about it. And was like getting a closer look. But I'm like, I feel like I wouldn't have noticed it if he didn't do that. Because I'm like, why is this man walking at me? And then I looked down and he was like inspecting the rock bag.
Okay, you were doing the rock bag. I see now. Okay.
I was yeah. The rock bag was closer to me in the street than him on the sidewalk.
Okay. And they're throwing these? Or you suspect they're throwing them?
I suspect they're throwing them. Or, a light toss. A light toss.
Right.
It's like, I have never seen this form of advertising before.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And all the ones I saw were the same rock. Yeah. So I'm like, you guys only have one rock? You only have one rock to offer?
I mean, it's probably cheaper to buy in bulk, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, where's the variety? What if people don't want this rock? What if they don't like that rock? They're not going to hire
gamble.
You.
It's a gamble the marketing team is taking.
It's a gamble to throw freaking rocks at people's houses anyway, but...
True. That's why I think I find it weird that it would be thrown. It seems like it would probably be like tossed out the side of a car.
Well, yeah, like, lightly tossed, but...
Right.
Technically, you're still throwing a dang rock at someone.
True. Every toss is a throw, but not every throw is a toss.
True. Oh, look at us getting into it.
There you go.
Yeah.
I did forget to mention, you'll never guess who DM'd me while I was in Barcelona saying, like, oh my God, you're here? And I was like, what? It's somebody you know. This is from France Times. You can guess who it is, and I'll bleep the name.
Oh.
No, that person. No, doesn't she? No, I'm just beeping names. No.
What?
Yeah. It was so random. I posted the story and they were like, oh my God, what are you doing at Barcelona? I'm going to so-and-so like later. And I was like, do you live here? And they replied back and they were like, yeah, for the past 2 years. And I was like, what? I had no idea. Yeah. We did not meet up, but because it was just not going to happen because I was just too busy with the person that I was with there. And
I also had no idea.
I know, right? So Alex, Rob, if you're listening to this, you should text the group chat now and ask who this is about. Because we can tell you, but we can't tell anybody else.
As close to this person as you were. Not that you guys were like close, but like
yeah.
I feel like you guys ended up being in the same places more often than I was, which is so odd because this person literally worked right across the street from where I lived and lived right around the corner from me.
Really? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I was at that apartment once.
Yeah.
Yes. I was trying to think, because I was trying to explain who this person was to my friend. And I was like, oh, it's someone that like I used to hang out with in France a lot. And then I was like, did I hang out with this person a lot in France? And I was like, I think we were around each other a lot. And then I was like, I guess we were always just around the whole group of people kind of generally always.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, it was so funny though. I was just like, next time, I guess I'll hit you up when I come to Barcelona.
Wow, that's random.
I know. And I was like, oh, I should save this.
You should. I'm happy you did.
I know. Right? No, the listeners will never know, though.
Yeah, the mysteries.
Teasing.
That's just bleeping out names all the time. Let's take a break, and we come back. We will have a message from a person who can be named. Hey everyone, Alyson here. As you may know, this month on A Message From, we are doing a health and wellness theme. We would love to hear from you with any questions or thoughts you have about health and wellness, so get in touch. Welcome back, as usual. We hope you enjoyed the break. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. So, continuing our health and wellness month, this week, we have a message from Chelsea. She has called in before, but she participated in the February app challenge with us. So, first of all, thank you for participating.
Yes.
And second of all, here is her message.
Hey guys, it's Chelsea. I just wanted to call in about the February ab challenge. Let me just say, I really thought I was going to kill it. And I was quickly humbled by the 1-minute side planks on day 2. So I did my best, and I hope that we all have abs by the end of this month. Okay, bye.
You did do your best. You know what? I'm going to say I did not do my best.
I noticed, because as we all know, I had to come into the February app challenge late, about a little bit more than halfway through late. But I was consistent in the finish while you guys were consistent in the start.
Yeah, we switched.
That's what I noticed. I was like, oh, we're just switching. I'm going to do the end and you guys are going to do the beginning.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Yeah, we just stuck with the same ab exercises that we did last summer for the ab challenge. And yeah, I was really consistent in the beginning, and then towards the middle and end, I just fell off. What I was doing is like I changed my tracking color. So if I did the exercise on like a different day, like if I missed a day, sometimes I would double up another day. So I tried to like differentiate if it was a day that I had doubled up or not by changing the color.
Oh,
but anyway.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Interesting track technique I didn't know about.
Because I didn't tell anyone until now.
Yeah. It is an interesting ab challenge, as most of it destroys your hip flexors.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. You invented the whole challenge.
I invented the whole challenge, and I probably could have planned that better. But it's funny because, like, the ones that other people hate, like, loathe, I'm like, this is not bad.
Interesting. So which one was the easiest one for you?
Easiest for me is probably Russian twist.
Okay, that's interesting. I would not have thought Russian twist. They weren't like the most difficult, but it's definitely one of those ones where it sucks at the beginning, but you're like, got the hang of it by the end.
Yeah, I think those are easiest, but
I meant like generally for most people. Sorry.
No. Yeah. For me, those ones are the easiest. And then the ones that some of the other people that were kind of partially participating in the challenge, though not really, because I was just writing it into workouts and forcing them to do it with me.
Smart on your end.
Yeah, like the scissors, the figure eights, the pikes, those don't bother me.
Interesting.
Whereas
the
I
pikes
feel
were
like,
my most difficult.
yeah, those ones are really tough for a lot of people, and I don't know why.
Because the pikes are full body.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your easiest?
Crunches.
Oh, yeah.
Crunches I think are generally easy, but also like, I think it depends also where you come from and like your like athletic background. Like, what's your backstory? You know, like certain things are probably easier depending on like what you used to do. And diving, we would just like, part of the workouts were just like, you just did abs for like 20 minutes and it was just like, okay, 500 crunches this way, 500 crunches the other way. Like, it just like, obviously it gets difficult, but I think it was just easy for me because I'm just used to them.
Yeah, that's a good point. In cheerleading, when we would do ab work, we did a lot of pikes and like
which makes sense.
Kicks and stuff. Yeah. So
see, we unlocked the
I hadn't thought about that, but yeah, that's a good point.
Well, you know me, I love a challenge. And I love figuring out a challenge. Mine's easy, mine's difficult. I was actually doing some challenges like personally for this month, just trying to like test what my back can do now. And so while I was in Barcelona, I was like, ooh, I have to make sure I do like my XYZ thing. And my friend was like, she started cracking up because she was like, you're obsessed with doing little challenges. It is so funny. And I was like, yeah, I do about like 8 different little challenges / check-ins like every day at any given point of the year.
Oh my God. That's a lot.
I know, right? It's like, it's I don't know. It's how my brain works, but we love them. And so we've incorporated them into our friendship in this podcast.
Yes, I'm not doing 8, but occasionally
and I don't mean they're not all physical. Like, you know, they could be like stretching is physical.
Mental? Are they mental?
Some of them are mental. Yeah.
Soul fulfilling challenges.
Soul challenges. Yes.
Oh, we should totally do that next month for everyone. We're gonna have a soul challenge. I wish everyone could see like
I don't even know how to
hand
describe
motion,
it.
like my soul bursting forth from my chest.
Yeah. Maybe we'll journal all through April, and then we'll just read our journals.
I journaled yesterday for the first time in a really long time. I pulled
journal
out my
or dream journal?
Journal, not dream journal. Journal because I pulled it out. I don't know. Should I share what I journaled? I pulled
it out. Feel the need.
I was doing a journaling challenge in 2020. I started a journaling challenge, kept up with it through almost all of 2020. And then in 2021, I was flipping through and I was like, okay, I journaled that month. And then it'd be like, okay, 4 months later, I journaled one more time. 4 months later.
Yeah. Sometimes my journal entries are like that weird, like, long time no hear from me journal. It's been like a month and 2, or no, like a year and 2 months. And you're like,
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I went, like, it was like April 2021. September 2021, November 2021, and then March 2022.
Yeah.
But someone said something to me that was like, it shouldn't have been that profound, but I was like, wow, it's so true. It absolutely applies to me, and I never thought about it that way before. So I was like, I'm journaling this.
And what? What was the thing that you...
What do you mean?
I'm confused.
Oh, I was having a conversation.
What did they say to you?
They said...
You, like, hyped up this quote, and then I don't know what the quote is.
Sorry. We were kind of talking about, like, living in different places, and we were talking about age and how we're, like, both can't believe we're about to be turning the age we're about to be turning. And he said, well, if you never get homesick when you're away from the place that you live, then that's not your home. Like, that's not meant to be your home. And
yeah.
It makes sense. It's obvious, but I never really thought about that before.
That's true. I don't think a lot of people think about that. I'm not sure if I ever thought about that either.
Right?
But I am very adamant about calling Madrid home and not anywhere in the United States because I'm a grown-up. And that's how I feel about that. That's a very controversial statement for some people, but I hate when people are like, do you miss home? And I'm like, no, because my home is like 2 metro stops that way.
Yes. It's very... Other people who have not moved away from where they grew up, or moved away for a brief time and then moved back, they can't envision that not being home for other people who like haven't come back or have no desire to come back.
You'd be surprised at the amount of people who have moved here for varying amounts of time, from short to quite long, and still call the United States home, which is valid in a way to be like, oh, like that's also my home, but like it's different. They like I've never heard them call this place home.
That's interesting.
So, it's very, very weird. It's very weird. We'll get into it in another time.
Yes,
back
we
to
can
the
talk about
challenges.
this another time. Bringing it back to workouts and health and wellness and all that jazz. So something that Chelsea mentioned, she said that she was quickly humbled by the 1-minute side planks on day 2.
I was surprised by that.
I was too. And I will say this time around, I found the side planks to be harder than they were last year. But I realized that that's just because I used to do planks all the time, like all forms. Forearm planks, tall plank, side plank on your elbow, side plank with one leg in the air, side plank with a ball, and doing hip dips and all this stuff. Like I used to do a lot of planks. Whereas now that I have been writing my own workouts for so long, I have like inadvertently phased out the stuff that I don't love. And planks would be one of those. So maybe this should be like a personal challenge to make sure that I incorporate more planks and push-ups into my workouts.
There you go. Hit a number of plank exercises in a certain amount of time. That's a nice challenge.
Yeah.
I also think, last year, did we do the plank challenge before or after the ab challenge?
I think we did it before.
That's also maybe why side planks were easier.
True.
So
we did a plank challenge.
Those 3-minute planks for like a month. Which in hindsight, impressive. Very impressive of us.
Yeah. My record, what was my record plank? It was almost 4 minutes. And I'm going to tell you right now, the only reason I went that long is because it was a competition and there were other people right next to me. And I was like, you won't beat me. That motivates me. Like,
that is a telltale sign of someone who would be probably very good on Survivor.
Oh my God, I'd be so good on Survivor because I'm literally like, you're not stronger than me. You're not beating me at this, okay?
I am surprised you're not into Survivor, actually.
I watched a few seasons, like way, way back in the day. But I haven't.
Like everybody did.
Yeah, but I haven't watched it since.
Oh, I feel like you should rewatch all the seasons. Because that's like a thing people started doing in the pandemic. Because now Survivor's like, not cool, but like everyone watches it now, it feels like. And maybe you should watch them, and then, because you have to watch them to like learn how to play or some shit.
Yeah.
To be on it. And I think you should go on Survivor.
Maybe I should.
I think you would be a great person on Survivor.
I would.
I can't believe we've never thought about this.
Oh my gosh. Am I going to be on Survivor?
Well, there's only one way to find out, and that is 3 years from now when we are still doing this. If we talk about you being on Survivor or not.
Yeah, true. But
manifesting. I'm manifesting you being on Survivor.
Me too now. I never thought about it before, but now I'm like thinking I should do it.
I think you would, because it would be funny personality, very competitive, and you've got that athletic edge, and you would definitely be pretty good at doing talking heads and causing drama. I think it'd be great.
Oh my gosh. I'm so flattered.
Yeah. I don't think I know anybody personally very closely to me who I think would be good at Survivor. Except you, I think, yeah. I think. There's always an exception to the rule, but I'm pretty sure this is steadfast.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
We're having
Wow.
like a big
Wow.
moment. Revelations. Revelations. And I'm also going to reveal another thing. So
Okay.
there has been
Continuing with revelations.
a time that I was humbled by a workout.
Confession time.
Confession time. Unlike the plank competition that I was not about to lose. I used to do this like small group workout class. That's where the plank competition was. There was a small group of us. Like my friend and I were clearly the most like competitive and motivated in this small group. But there was one day where one of our exercises was pushing a car. And I'm like,
Oh.
I can push a car. Like, I can do this. I'm like, it's fine. I can do this. So it's my turn. I'm about to go. We're like, I'm getting started. And he's like, okay, go. I'm not even kidding you. I was like, you're on the brakes, right? Like, this is a joke. You're
pushing this by yourself?
Yeah. I could not get the thing started moving. Like, once it got moving, I was okay. But I could not get this thing to move on my own. And I was like, I wasn't expecting this.
I am gobsmacked that I really did not think that the exercise that would have humbled you would be moving a car, because how does that humble you?
I thought I could do it.
You have an ego problem if that humbles you. What?
Okay, well, I guess I have an ego problem, because I thought for sure, I was like, it's going to be hard, but I can definitely get this thing going. Like,
Oh my God.
I can do it. I couldn't do it.
It's like one of those moments in like one of those TV shows that has like a narrator and like a comedy, and it's like, and to no one's surprise, she couldn't do it because it's a car.
To my surprise, but to no one else's surprise.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's really funny, actually. I'm trying to think about if I've definitely been humbled by workout experiences, like all the time, but I'm trying to remember like a very monumental experience. And don't know if I can find the most monumental one, but I was definitely humbled. This is definitely up there. I didn't do physical education my last year of high school because I took it in the summer for like an intensive, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks. Must have been 2 weeks. 2-week like intensive PE course so I could take another class during this school year. And we did sports like all day. It was, you had to run in the morning, and then it was a group sport, and then it was individual sport, and then it was like you swam, and then after swimming you did something else. It was like a lot of stuff. And every 3 days you had to do an ab workout with one of the gym teachers, Mrs. Shear. And on my first day, that's when I was humbled. And I specifically remember doing those like one-legged like dip type things, Russian dips or something, or I don't remember.
Standing up?
Yeah.
It was like a pistol squat?
Potentially. I'm not really sure what it is.
Because those are hard. People work to get those for like years.
It was something that was definitely involved with like us one leg lowering ourselves like on like butt to bleacher.
Oh my gosh, a pistol squat.
It was very like, yeah, it was very, very intense. And it was obviously like almost impossible. But it was one of those things where it was like, wow, that was really hard. I'm glad that's over. Can't wait to not do that again in 3 days. Except I have to do it.
Oh my
But then it was one of those where you
gosh.
wake up the next day and I couldn't, like no one could move for the rest of the 2 weeks, even though we were forced to move for like 5 hours. I remember being hella sunburned, couldn't move, and like I couldn't even sit in my chair at the library.
No.
Where I was working my
And
summer
that's
job. It was
like-
so bleak. That's
And
when I was
that's
humbled. I
the
was like,
easy version of it.
yeah. It
And
seemed
it's
like she had modified it.
No, yeah, when you do it to a seat on like a bench or a bleacher or something, that's like the
Yeah.
modified version, and it kills. Those are
Yeah,
so
yeah.
hard.
So I guess
Like,
it wasn't an ab workout
I
necessarily,
can
was it?
feel the pain in my butt cheek right now thinking about it.
Visceral. Is that an ab workout technically?
You do need to keep your core tight to maintain your balance when you're on that one
Right.
leg, like sitting down. So
Yes,
It's
and
not-
it's one of those like your core is used for everything type things.
Yes. It's
Yeah.
not like a targeted, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm doing
That's the
this
word.
because it's ab day.
Yeah.
But
So it feels, if I'm recollecting correctly, which is probably not super 100% accurate, blocked out a lot of stuff. And it seemed like it was part of the ab workout, but there were other ab things involved. But I specifically remember being in that bleacher. But yes, anyway, that was my humbling experience. But humbling only because I didn't realize it was going to humble me until the next day.
well, that's what happens. We got that
That's how-
confidence and then it smacks us in the face.
Yes. You can't move yourself, can't move a car.
No.
It's just, it's
It's a lot to deal with.
It is. Thank you, Chelsea, for letting us relive these memories that were
Thank
so
you.
deep-seated in us. And helping us realize that Alyson has to be on Survivor soon.
Yeah, you know what? This was a really good episode for some self-reflection.
For you personally.
Personally, this was great. I'm so happy we did this.
Yes. And once again, also, Alex Rob, text the group chat so we can tell you who was on. Who lives in Barcelona now.
Mystery Barcelona friend.
Yes.
And then next week, we have lovely message from certified personal trainer Donovan. So you're all going to want to tune in for this.
Yeah. We have a personal trainer on the pod. It's going to be lit.
Profesh.
And it's intense. Not going to lie. But in a good way. So thank you again, Chelsea, for sending in a message. You will receive a postcard. And if you would like to receive a postcard, you can do that by sending in a message to 202-630-4509 if you live in the United States. Or if you hate the sound of your own voice, if you live outside of the United States, you can send it to a messagefrompod@gmail.com. Check us out on A Message From on Instagram, amfpod.com for bonus content. And rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, and on Spotify. And we will see you in the internet next week. Bye.
See ya.